Draw your footprint out on a piece of newspaper. Make sure you got your whole foot right in there. After you've cut your foot out, fold it in half and take your other piece of newspaper and fold that in half too. Now put the heel of your foot about 1/2 inch away from the end and put it right against the fold, and put the top of your foot, which would be up here, and that would be there. And do it about 1.5 inches up on top, make a mark. And on the side, do about 1.5 inches, make a mark. And then you will follow that mark all the way down. Now with your paper folded, cut it. And when you come to the top, just round it out a little bit. We can fix it up after. Now you don't want it really round like this. You want it, and you don't want it pointed. So take it about here. And round off a little bit more so that it looks like, let's see, looks like that. Not too round and not too pointed. Now take your footprint again and put it in there and make sure it's going to fit. You got about 1/2 inch from here to here. And you got about 1.5 inches from here to here. About 1.5 inches from the top. Now we need another piece of paper to make the top for the moccasin. So we fold this one in half, and then we fold this in half so we know how big to make it. And mark that at the end here. And then we're gonna mark the end of your toe. And then cut. We'll just cut this right there for now. Now we need this to make the toe part here, but we need it to fit into here the same as this. So we're going to do it about 2 inches. And again, don't make it really round on top, and don't make it pointed. There, now that's too round again. I think it's just maybe a little too wide. Okay, so we're going to take just a little bit off. There. Perfect. And there we go. We got our pattern. We got our pamp, which is the top of the moccasin, and we got our foot pattern. Before you start cutting your hide out, check for the stretch. Check which way it stretches the most. You want it to stretch sideways more than you do lengthways. I use a piece of soap just to help to draw my patterns. because it doesn't leave a mark and it washes off. Okay. You take the tops off your moccasins. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put the brown paper underneath. And we're going to fold this one in half. Fold it in half again. And this is where we're going to make our pattern for the top. Okay, first we're going to draw this out. And we're going to make a diamond pattern. Get it right down the middle. So we're going to just make a cross. This is going to be our diamond. Okay. And we'll cut this out. If you don't have any carbon paper to do the other one exactly the same, you can lift it up against the window and draw it the same. Yeah. There we go. Okay, we'll put this on here and make sure they fit right. And put this one, the brown one, underneath. We could probably get two out of here. Yeah, we can. And we need our thread, our needle and thread. You can use ordinary thread, or you can, if you have this kind, you can use this kind. Any kind of thread will do. It's just to hold your pattern down. The brown paper is so that your leather don't slide. We'll cut that excess off after. Okay, just need to go, your pattern goes to here, so you don't have to put your thread all the way to the bottom. And just make galloping stitches. You don't want real tight stitches because you're going to take them out after. If you find your needle a little hard to go through, just cut off a piece of leather and use that to help you push it through. Some people use thimbles. I don't. Okay, now we're at the end. Just make your knot. There you go. Should look like that. And look like that on the front side. And just cut around it. Cut all that excess off. Make sure you don't cut your hide. Okay, and just do that to the other one too. I have both my pumps ready. I have my beads. I put it in a margarine container. And I have my needle threaded. So let's get started. I'm going to put it right through the top. And I'm going to do 3 red, 3 white, and 3 blue. And go just in front of the blue. And go back right to the beginning of the blue. If you can see that there. And then go through the blue. And pull it out. I'm going to make this blue a little bigger, so I'm going to put 3 more blue. And then another 3 more blue, because I need the middle. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to go 3 white. And 3 red. And then I'm going to go right in front of the red. Whoops. Like that. And then I'm going to go right in front of the red again. Bring my needle up right in front of the red. And I'm going to tack it down. I'm going to go right in front of the white, every 3rd bead. I'm going to tack that down too. And then I'm going to go on the 3rd bead of the blue. And I'm going to tack that down. And then the 3rd bead again of blue. And tack that down too. And then I'm going to keep going till I got them all tacked down. And then in between the white and the red. Like that. Now I'm going to go right beside the white like that. If you can see. And I'm going to put 3 red, 3 white, 3 red, 3 white, and 3 blue. And then I'm going to put 3 white. Nope. 3 white. And then 3 red. And I'm going to do that right on top of where the white is, right next to it. So it should look like that. Then you tack it down on every 3 again, in between the red and the white. You put 4 beads on the ends and 4 in the middle, 4 in the middle, 4 on the end. And use this mark here for a guideline to make sure you got them straight. Now we'll start to take this apart. You rip the brown paper off the back. Just rip it around and rip the inside. It should look like that. And you rip the white paper off. All around. And you can use your needle nose pliers, or you can use tweezers to get these out. And after you've done that, it should look like this. Okay, now we're ready to begin. Okay, now we're gonna begin sewing up our moccasins. The paper that we use for our pattern, we're going to put it up here, match it up evenly, and where the beginning of the fold is where the top where we're going to mark on the inside of our moccasin. And then on the inside of the lining, we're going to mark that too. Do it, yeah. And you do it to both of them. And then we'll do the same with our pant, the top of our moccasin. Where the fold is, which is right here, we're going to mark the top of it. Make sure it's even, or your moccasin will come out slanted. And then make sure it's even on the lining too. Okay. Now, if you're really good at this, you can sew all 4 of these and our middle piece. You can sew them all together. But for the first one, I would take these 2 pieces out, keep them together so you know that they belong together. Yeah. and we'll make a middle piece here. Okay, what I've done is I've cut out a little piece of leather. Make sure it goes all the way around your pamp. It doesn't matter if it's a little bit long. We're going to use this one for the back. So we're going to even this up. Oh, I'm going to put it this way. Okay, we're going to even up the lining where the pen mark is here and where the pen mark is there. If you can see it, yeah, okay. When you're using the sinew thread, it comes thick, and you can get about 3 or 4 extra threads out, smaller threads out of it. So you just slowly pull one apart. And this is what we'll be using. And cut it to the length you need it. Okay. You got these all marked up. You start from the back and you go forward. I need my little thimble again, little piece of leather. I use that to help me push it through. And again, we're using a Glover's needle. It's got 3 sides to it. It's different than the regular sewing needle. Okay, we're gonna, I use my needle to make a little pucker in it, like that. Just make a little one. You don't want to make a great big one because you'll have a big hole showing. So you sew behind that. You go through all 3. And then right beside that, you make another stitch. So we'll be pucker and then stitch. And then stitch another one. Okay, now we're going to pucker again and stitch. Oh, yeah, you don't want it right at the end of the hide. That's what I'm doing here, because it'll either slip out or... Okay, put another stitch right beside it. Now we keep doing this, pucker and stitch, until we get we pucker all this stuff here. We pucker all this stuff here until our moccasin, this part of our moccasin, if I can show it, this part of our moccasin lays flat. That's when we lays flat while we're sewing. That's when we know when to quit puckering. Okay. Make sure this one here is flat with this one, and this one we pucker the back. Okay, while you're puckering, stop and check. Put your pamp right in the middle. Spread this out a bit to where it should be, and to see how much further you have to pucker, so that this ends up. Put these two together. You don't want when you're puckering, you don't want it to be sticking out like this. You want it to go in like this. So if it's still sticking out like that, you've got to pucker some more. Let's see. Oh, it's one more. And this is even that way. Perfect. Okay. Now you sew these straight to the end. Sew all three of them just straight to the end. I'm getting down to the end now. Do your last stitch here. I usually sew it a few times and then sew it back up one, just in case it snips out or something. And then knot it. I'll put another one in. Make sure your thread is a little twisted. It knots better. There, and just cut it off. Here, now flatten this out, and this should be even down here, and this should be even up on top.